been in a situation where you go into a social gathering and you're wondering, what am I going to say? You don't feel confident in what you're going to say. You don't feel confident in how you're going to stand in front of the crowd or in the social setting. But it's okay. There's so many people that go through this. I mean, it's normal for you to feel nervous when you meet new people or when you get into a social gathering and you're trying to figure out how you're going to fit in. But it becomes a problem when it's often, and not just often, but it's affecting your ability to optimally function. But you know what? You're in the right channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Habiba. I am a registered mental health and substance use nurse, and I also specialize in global mental health as my master's, which has also propelled me to create this platform to reach out to a vast number of people across the globe to help in promoting our mental health and well-being. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This episode promises to be as informative as always, and we're talking about how to build our self-confidence even in social situations. We, one way or the other, must have experienced some times when we meet people that we don't know at all. That's fine, because there are opportunities you had when you wanted to do an interview. Did you know the interviewer? No. There were opportunities where you had to go to a party that you know one person. You had to go to a party where it's just one person you know, and you have many other new people in that gathering. So it's still something about confident in a social situation. How confident were you? Tell me your experience. Were you fidgeting? Were you stuttering? Were you feeling less confident in yourself? Were you doubting your abilities? Were you judging yourself? So many a time we want to fix how we can improve our self-confidence. In actual fact, you're supposed to face your insecurities, and that's because there's obviously something that you've not resolved about your insecurities, which has already affected your self-esteem enough not to be able to understand how to build confidence or to be confident and fully confident, I mean here. So this is the first step to building your confidence, facing your insecurities. How do you do that? The first thing is self-awareness. When you face any form of insecurity, it's probably because you have some adverse childhood experiences, you have some trauma, you have some things that has happened to you in the past growing up, and probably it's beyond your control, but I mean, it is what it is. It's shaped who you are to become an adult. It's shaped who you are to become a teenager, and you see that, okay, this has to be fixed, but how do you fix it? So I'll tell you this in few steps. Number one is self-awareness. Number two is challenging those negative thoughts. You have to replace self-critical thoughts with more positive and realistic self-talk. You also have to have some affirmations that will groom you to become who you want to be or how you want to feel about yourself. Because with positive affirmations, you're definitely going to clear self-doubt. When you clear self-doubt, what happens? Indirectly, you're accepting who you are for what you are, and you less care about what anyone feels about you, right? Another thing is you can always limit comparisons. When you limit comparisons, like comparing yourself with other people, I'll use social media for example. We are all in the age of social media, and people put things out there and you wonder, oh, she's at this level and I'm not yet there, or she's at this pace and I'm not there. Not everything is real, but well, even if it's real, why do you have to compare yourself with them? It's a function of where you're at, how you want to appreciate your level of growth, and irrespective of whatever achievements you haven't achieved or you're about to achieve, it's okay at your pace, because that's your pace and that's who you are, your unique self. So the fact of practicing self-compassion. Many people are able to practice self-compassion on a daily basis. Apparently, it is about empathy. Give yourself some level of empathy. Accept your faults. You're not a perfect person. Imperfection is sweet. It's part of the fun. It's part of where it takes you to your growth. I mean, if you are perfect, then what do you want to grow about? What does the life seem to look like? It looks boring. I mean, to me, perfection is boring. Imperfection is okay, but I would just suggest that it's okay to always build on yourself every day. That's what makes the difference, right? And if you know what makes you feel better in yourself, then do it, and do it daily till you get used to it, to a point where you feel comfortable. When talking about self-love, you want to forgive yourself. Be with yourself that imperfection is okay. You want to understand that all mistakes in your past has impacted your growth as well. And you want to acknowledge all of these past mistakes. They're your flaws. Oh yes. They're your weaknesses. Oh yes. You have to accept it and see it in the positive light that it made you grow enough to recognize where you are at in the moment and being ready for growth. That is in itself self-love, which equates full confidence. Too often we try to mold our personalities into something we think other people will like, when in reality we just need to be ourselves. Plus, it takes the pressure off of feeling like we constantly need to love ourselves all the time. It's definitely hard to build up confidence when the people you live with always bring you right down. I mean, they are the ones that don't even support your growth. It's hard, but not impossible. It's a decision you tell yourself. I believe I can do it. Yes. If it takes you not sharing with them what you are doing to progress, by all means, please do it. In essence, you have to disengage with people who don't support your efforts for growth. More often than not, we don't know what we are capable of. When we remain in our comfort zone, that's a safe space. It's easy to remain in your comfort zone. And when you feel so much ease in that regard, you see other places outside that comfort zone as overwhelming, awkward, not a safe space. But you know what? Challenging yourself daily takes courage. And the more you act on what you need to do to grow and to improve your confidence, the more you feel more comfortable and that comfort zone starts to expand. If any of these don't work in terms of facing your insecurities, then you have to seek for professional help. And that's about reaching out to a licensed therapist or a licensed counselor to work with you to be able to fix that. Building confidence is about addressing your insecurities. Once that is done, then it's easier to do the next step. It's normal for growth to take place. That's why you're facing that. Or even if it's not that, if it's just that you're going to club with friends or you're going to a party to meet people, it's still okay. Part of growth is you want to build confidence. So what you want to think about first is about yourself. What do you want to expect from that conversation? What do you want to expect people to think of you? Well, how do you want people to perceive you at the end of the conversation? Even if it's just going to be a 5-minute experience with this person, how do you want them to see you? Then you have to prepare well before you talk. And that means you have to know what you want to say before you say it. Think before you talk. Is that easy? Or think before you go into it. I always say this, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So you want to go in with that perception, but don't be too hard on yourself to say, oh, I got to be perfect in this. No, there's nothing as perfect as perfection. No way. You are just deceiving yourself to put yourself in that kind of tight space. But however, you just want to see that you have the sense of purpose to know this is how I want my outcome to be. This is how I want people to understand me to be. So you go in there, maybe you meet like 10 people and you're wondering, how do I start? You can start with one person. One person is okay. And that's because quality is better than quantity. So even if you start with one person, you can just say, hello, how are you doing? Keep it as mild as you can. You don't have to rush to say everything. Even if you pause at first, pause can be your first connection or your first communication. Like being quiet initially, and then you start with, hello, how are you? Or even if you don't want to say how are you, what have you been up to? What are you looking forward to? I always try to focus on the future, because most times with the future, it's always more positive and there's always room for positivity in your talk. And even at that, you don't have to rush to say so many things at once just because you want to be heard, you want to be understood, or you can be as concise as you can and they would still understand you. But try as much as possible to understand what the theme of the communication is and leave it at that, and don't be too pressured to speak. So it's okay to also disengage when it's time to disengage, because I know some people struggle with that, but just check how the body language, the line of communication is going. If it warrants that you can engage in the next person, then why not proceed by all means. But if you feel, well, it's not appropriate to do that at this level, then it's okay. and you don't have to feel awkward or overwhelmed about it. So this is where I would say, as much as you have contributed meaningful things to whatever you want to contribute in your social circle, carry whatever has happened as normal as possible, because it is normal to be a human being, as opposed to criticizing what has happened and judging yourself or over-judging yourself even before the other person judges you. Remember, these are people that probably they're going to be spending just 5 minutes with you, and they would forget about you totally. Like, I mean, random people you meet in a social gathering, in a party, or probably even if it's in a workplace, you can just always improve on yourself, even if you made any mistakes. Like I said, you have to accept your flaws. You have to love yourself enough. You have to understand that part of your flaws is what made you get to where you are today. And so making mistakes is part of the journey, but the beauty about it is continuously improving on yourself is what makes the journey sweet, because you always have a story to tell. When internal confidence is from within, it's not like you're projecting to attach yourself to certain things before you are confident. Because I've seen people feel, oh, because I have so much wealth, or because I have so much popularity, or because I have attained some level of success, then that's when I'm confident. No, that's not the definition of full confidence in my own perspective. I believe if you are not even having all those things, what if those things go away in 1 second? What happens to you? If you feel you deserve to be fully confident, then it has to come from within. And that's why I would say self-confidence has something to do with self-love. Because with self-love, you can easily forgive yourself. You can easily be compassionate with yourself, your mistakes and all your flaws. You can also be able to show empathy to yourself and give yourself the room to grow step by step. I hope that's helpful. But at the same time, if you've tried all of these things and it's still not working, please don't hesitate to see a therapist. And let me know your experience in the comment section below. If you feel you have tried this and it just doesn't work, let's know. If you've tried it and it worked, let's know in the comment section below. And I have to also add this, above all, always try to also educate yourself. Groom yourself well to prepare yourself into social gatherings or social connections, and that will make you more comfortable and more confident to be able to relate with people and be better. I can't say more than that, but if you have any questions or clarifications or comments, I'll be happy if you can put them in the comment section below. I'll see you all in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. It's bye for now.